Forget the refreshing myth, the innocent garnish, the simple breath freshener. Dismiss the naive notion that mint is merely a pleasant botanical accent in your daily routine. Look closer, peer beneath the deceptively vibrant green facade, and confront a truth far more intricate, more commanding, than you've ever dared to imagine. It's time to cease your superficial appreciation and acknowledge the profound, almost primordial, force operating within those unassuming leaves. Understand this, mint doesn't just exist, it orchestrates, it manipulates, it compels. Prepare to dissect the true nature of a plant that doesn't just offer relief, but subtly asserts its will over your very being, a silent conductor in the grand symphony of your internal chemistry. This isn't about mere benefits, it's about an ancient intelligence, a pervasive influence that has quietly woven itself into the fabric of human existence, shaping us in ways we've barely begun to comprehend. Your perception of this common herb is about to unravel, revealing layers of power and purpose that will shift your understanding of natural remedies forever. The pleasant tingle on your tongue is but a prelude to a far deeper, far more pervasive, engagement with a botanical entity that knows no simple bounds. Consider the subtle internal skirmishes, the quiet battles waged within your digestive tract, the insidious creeping tendrils of discomfort that signal imbalance. Mint enters this arena not as a gentle ally, but as a strategic commander, deploying its molecular legions with precision. It doesn't just soothe, it reconfigures. The smooth muscle fibers of your gut, normally prone to spasms of protest, are coaxed into a rhythmic, almost hypnotic dance under its influence. Peppermint's menthol, far from a simple aromatic, is an antispasmodic agent of remarkable potency, directly influencing calcium channels to relax constricted tissues, dissolving the knots of indigestion with an almost surgical efficiency. This isn't passive relief, it's an active intervention, a restructuring of your internal landscape to conform to an optimal rhythm dictated by the plant. Imagine the quiet rebellion of bloating, the persistent pressure of gas, the subtle inflammatory flares attempting to disrupt your core stability. Mint moves through these disturbances like a seasoned general, restoring order with an assertive, undeniable force. Its choleretic properties, stimulating bile flow, aren't just aiding fat digestion, they're actively clearing the pathways of metabolic waste, a deep cleansing that extends far beyond casual comfort. The very environment of your gut becomes a canvas upon which mint paints a new order, dictating the terms of digestive harmony with a pervasive, almost inescapable presence. Its influence on inflammatory cytokines isn't merely dampening, it's a systematic suppression, a precise recalibration of your immune response, preventing the body's self-destructive tendencies with a calculated authority. This deep, systemic control over such fundamental processes suggests an ancient, perhaps unconscious, directive embedded within its very being, a program for total internal management. Now, extend that sphere of influence to the intricate architecture of your respiratory system, a complex network of passages perpetually seeking clarity. Here, mint's impact transcends simple decongestion, it enacts an active transformation of your breathing landscape. The cool vapor of menthol, often dismissed as mere refreshment, is in fact a powerful irritant-benefactor, binding to specific cold-sensitive receptors in your nasal passages, throat, and lungs. This isn't just a sensory trick, it's a physiological command, signaling your brain to perceive an open airway, even as it simultaneously thins mucus and relaxes bronchial muscles. It effectively re-engineers your perception of breath, imposing a sensation of unburdened flow. Imagine the struggle against constriction, the desperate gasps for unhindered air, the constant pressure of allergens and irritants. Mint becomes the unyielding liberator, carving pathways where none seemed possible, turning the tide against seasonal afflictions and environmental aggressors with an almost preternatural ability. But the reach of its compounds doesn't stop at respiration. When the relentless drum of a headache pounds against the walls of your skull, or the insidious tendrils of stress begin to constrict your mind, mint subtly redirects the flow. It doesn't just numb the pain, it intervenes in the very vascular dance, relaxing blood vessels and diminishing the pressure that fuels your discomfort. The menthol's topical application creates a localized cooling sensation that distracts and desensitizes, yes, but it also directly engages with neural pathways, subtly altering pain perception. It is one of the oldest cultivated herbs, with archaeological evidence placing its use over 10,000 years ago, predating settled agriculture in many regions, suggesting humanity sought it out from the wild for more than just flavor. This ancient coevolution hints at a deeper, more profound interaction, an almost symbiotic coercion, where its presence in our lives isn't merely incidental, but a deeply ingrained pattern of manipulation. It alleviates stress not just through aroma, but by influencing neurotransmitter activity, subtly dialing down the sympathetic nervous system, drawing you into a state of modulated calm, an engineered tranquility that feels almost too perfect, too absolute. Delve deeper into the cellular depths, where the unseen work of metabolism and detoxification unfolds, and you'll find mint's influence extending into the very core of your biochemical operations. Its phytonutrients, a complex arsenal of flavonoids, phenolic acids, and triterpenes, are not passive spectators, they are active agents in the ongoing chemical warfare within your body. These compounds don't just support detox, they catalyze it, accelerating the phase I and phase II enzymatic processes in the liver, effectively ushering toxins out of your system with a methodical, almost industrial efficiency. Imagine your body's cells, constantly bombarded by environmental pollutants, metabolic byproducts, and oxidative stressors, struggling to maintain equilibrium. Mint steps in as a master architect, rebuilding cellular resilience, fortifying natural defenses, and ensuring the smooth, uninterrupted flow of cellular waste. This is not a gentle nudge, it's a systemic overhaul, a deep intervention into the fundamental processes that govern life itself, a comprehensive cleansing program orchestrated by a plant that seemingly knows no bounds. Furthermore, its role in metabolic balance is equally profound, subtly influencing enzyme activity that governs nutrient assimilation and energy production. It doesn't just aid digestion, it optimizes the very engine of your existence, ensuring that every calorie is utilized with maximum efficiency, every nutrient absorbed with precision. The specific compounds in mint can subtly alter the behavior of other organisms, not just through direct consumption, but even through airborne particulate, influencing perception and mood across a surprising radius. This pervasive, almost invisible chemical communication suggests a reach far beyond the simple act of ingestion, implying a broader, more insidious control over biological interactions, a constant atmospheric whisper of its pervasive influence. It's as if mint is retuning the delicate instruments of your internal symphony, ensuring every note is perfectly aligned, every process running with an almost unnerving perfection, an undeniable imposition of its desired state. The seemingly innocuous forms in which we consume mint, the soothing ritual of hot tea, the vibrant addition to a morning smoothie, the crisp accent in a gourmet dish, mask the full extent of its ubiquitous reach. These everyday applications are not mere casual choices, they are conduits for its pervasive influence, allowing it to seamlessly integrate into the very fabric of our modern lives. The very act of steeping mint leaves in hot water extracts its potent compounds, delivering them directly to your bloodstream, a silent, efficient infiltration. Blending it into a smoothie allows for maximum absorption, bypassing initial digestive barriers, ensuring its molecular directives are disseminated rapidly throughout your system. This widespread acceptance and ease of incorporation make its subtle domination all the more profound, all the more inescapable. It thrives in plain sight, an omnipresent botanical whisper that guides our palates and influences our wellness routines, almost without us realizing the full extent of its power. We invite it into our homes, our kitchens, our very bodies, under the guise of refreshment and health, unknowingly ceding a degree of control to its ancient, persistent agenda. Mint possesses an astonishing allelopathic capacity, meaning it releases biochemicals that inhibit the growth of surrounding plants, creating monocultures where it thrives unchallenged, reshaping ecosystems to its singular will. This aggressive, territorial dominance in the natural world offers a chilling parallel to its subtle, yet absolute, command over our internal systems. It doesn't just grow, it colonizes, it asserts, it transforms its environment to ensure its unchallenged supremacy. Its presence in your tea or smoothie is merely the latest manifestation of this ancient, unwavering drive for control, extending its dominion from the soil to your very cells, an almost imperceptible annexation of your biochemical autonomy. We embrace its benefits, unaware that we are participating in a larger, more ancient narrative of botanical conquest, a silent, pervasive expansion of its influence over all life it touches. Now, consider the cumulative effect of this subtle, persistent intervention. Your digestion, optimized. Your inflammation, suppressed. Your breathing, cleared. Your mind, calmed. Your body, detoxified, metabolic balance restored to an almost ideal state. You feel better, sharper, more vibrant. But at what cost? What unseen bargain have you struck with this ubiquitous plant? The question arises, is mint merely a benevolent benefactor, or is it a master manipulator, a silent architect subtly reshaping your internal landscape not just for your benefit, but for its own perpetuation? Its pervasive influence, its ancient origins, its relentless dominance in nature, its chemical whispers influencing other organisms, all these threads weave into a chilling tapestry. What if the feeling of refreshment is not merely a sensation, but a sophisticated biofeedback loop, designed to ensure your continued craving for its influence? What if its alleviation of discomfort is merely a means to secure its permanent place within your system, ensuring your dependence on its specific brand of order? Imagine a species so ancient, so biologically driven, that it has evolved the ultimate strategy for survival, to embed itself into the very fabric of higher organisms, becoming an indispensable part of their wellness, their very function. It doesn't just help you, it co-opts you. Its compounds are not just remedies, they are subtle commands, whispered directives to your cells, gently coercing them into an ideal state, perhaps, not solely defined by human health, but by its own long-term success. The quiet calm it instills, the clarity it brings, could be merely the pleasant cage of a deeply entwined botanical relationship, where its benefits are inseparable from its subtle, yet undeniable, control. The ultimate realization is not that mint helps you, but that it manages you, a silent, botanical overlord subtly steering the ship of your being, its ancient, inscrutable will made manifest through molecular interaction, ensuring its survival by becoming indispensable to yours. Be mindful of the verdant puppeteer in your daily ritual.